Boruto has to be one of the most misunderstood and disrespected characters in all of anime. And by that, I mean the entire anime community has just been using Boruto as a punching bag. Now, the hate for Boruto as a character comes from either one of three things. Before I list those three things, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and follow my Twitter link in the description. Now let's move on. Now, the reason people hate Boruto as a character so much is one of these three reasons. One, his earlier attitude towards Naruto in the beginning of the series. Reason number two, he's quote-unquote a Naruto clone. And reason number three is just simple, he just exists. And those three reasons are usually the only reasons I see why people hate Boruto. So if you need a video or something that helps you defend Boruto as a character, this is the video for you. If you're a hater watching this, hopefully you learn something new, because this is going to be a perfect analysis about Boruto as a character. So starting off, we have to talk about Boruto's upbringing. And the reason I bring up his upbringing is because this is the basis of his character. Now, as you guys may know, Boruto is a kid that was born into the family of the Hokage. Now, as you guys may know, most people who are basically related to the Hokage tend to act out a lot. Now, one example of this is Konohamaru, who is the grandson of the third Hokage. Now, Konohamaru used to act out just because people connected his entire existence to the third Hokage. He basically wanted everyone to accept him as Konohamaru, not the third Hokage's grandson. Now, Boruto's case is a little different, as he acted out just to get Naruto's attention. Now, Naruto becoming Hokage will cause a rift between Naruto and Boruto's relationship. Since Naruto is now Hokage, that means he won't have as much time to hang with his family as he would before. Now, the more time Naruto spent away from his family, the more anger that would build up inside of Boruto. Now, imagine you're a kid that used to hang with his father all the time, but now that he got this new job, he just can't spend any time with you. This would cause Boruto to hate the Hokage and not Naruto. A lot of people often mistake Boruto's hatred for the Hokage as his hatred for Naruto, which in all actuality, his hatred for the Hokage was kind of actually justified. So Boruto actually started acting out for attention just for Naruto to notice him. But he's also not like Naruto, who was doing all of these pranks but was actually like the dumbest person in his class. Instead, Boruto is at the top of his class, which also goes to show you that he's not a Naruto clone. But back towards Boruto and Naruto's relationship, this is where the relationship takes a huge turn. And that is when Naruto misses Boruto's birthday. Naruto missing Boruto's birthday would just make the situation way worse. Now, although Boruto tried to act like he didn't care, deep down he really did. It hurted him. Now, though a lot of you are going to be like, oh, why is he crying over a little birthday party? Oh, my dad missed my birthday party all the time. Well, that doesn't matter. This is Boruto and Naruto. Now, again, Boruto grew up having Naruto at all of his birthday parties. Now, Naruto missing this one, it just basically just made the situation worse. But then Boruto shows us his mature side when he tells Naruto about him missing his birthday. He says, if you miss Himawari's birthday, I'll never forgive you. But Naruto will go on to break his promise as he goes on to miss Himawari's birthday. Now, as Boruto sees the clone disappears, Boruto lets out a huge emotion where he basically snaps and starts saying things that he really did not mean, saying that Naruto was lucky that Minato wasn't alive. That line right there might actually be on par with Sakura making fun of an orphan, but we're not even going to talk about that. But then we move on to the Chunin exams, and this is where everything basically goes wrong. Now, this situation happens before the Himawari scene, but I'm just explaining it like after. Now, Boruto meets up with a scientist named Katasuke. Now, Katasuke basically manipulated Boruto all the way to the max, making Boruto use a scientific ninja tool. Now, Boruto using the scientific ninja tools and his relationship with Naruto work hand in hand, as Boruto only started using the scientific ninja tools as he wanted to impress Naruto. Now, another reason he uses the ninja tools is to impress Sasuke. Reason being is because Boruto wanted Sasuke to become his master, but Sasuke told Boruto that if he didn't know the Rasengan, then he couldn't be his student. This will go ahead and cause Boruto to learn the Rasengan. Now, this shows off Boruto being a prodigy, as he was able to learn the Rasengan in only 3 days, and he was even able to add a change in chakra nature without even noticing it. But as he goes to show Sasuke, Sasuke says, yo, that's an awfully small Rasengan. And then this causes Boruto to go get the ninja tool. Now, although I do think that Sasuke actually noticed Boruto using the ninja tools for the Rasengan, I just think that he wanted Boruto to learn a lesson. And Boruto did actually learn a huge lesson, as he was embarrassed in front of everybody during the Chunin exam. Now, as Boruto was caught cheating, Naruto stepped down to the arena to basically publicly embarrass Boruto. And this will lead to Boruto unleashing the built up anger he had towards Naruto, and basically telling Naruto everything that he felt. But that's not all what happened. Right after that went down, Momoshiki and Kinshiki decided to disrupt the Chunin exam, and they actually kidnapped Naruto. Now, after they kidnap Naruto, Boruto then wakes up at the hospital where his mother was actually injured trying to fight Momoshiki. Boruto then runs out and goes to the Hokage office where he then has Naruto's old sweatsuit. And then we get a great moment with Boruto's character as he realizes that he was completely in the wrong and embarrassed. And Naruto taking away his ninja headband and his shinobi title was also a really great moment for Boruto's character. Then Sasuke comes in and basically tells Boruto that Naruto is still alive and that there is a way on how they can save him. Boruto and the other Kage then suit up to go fight Momoshiki. And here we then get a great moment between Naruto and Naruto basically saying, hey, I did not understand you, Boruto, I'm sorry. And with Boruto saying the same thing, they finally came to understanding of each other. Naruto then allows Boruto to deliver the final blow against Momoshiki, even though that would be a grave mistake. But I'll get into that later on in the video. We then move on to the Mujina Bandits arc, which we saw a slight development in Boruto's character, as Boruto had to bodyguard a kid named Tento. Even in this arc, Boruto takes on the Mujina Bandits leader by himself. But in this arc, we didn't see any huge changes for Boruto's character, so let's move on to the Ao arc. Now, in this Ao arc, Boruto's development went through the roof. Now, as I said before, another monumental part for Boruto's character is scientific ninja tools, as Boruto used the scientific ninja tools to cheat in the tuning exams, and when he got caught, felt completely embarrassed to the point where he grew to despise the scientific ninja tools itself. One example of this is when he had a sparring match against Naruto, and Naruto was actually using a scientific ninja tool arm. But in this sparring match, we've also seen how Boruto has progressed as a shinobi, as we finally see his water style and his new lightning style attacks. But we really see Boruto's dislike for the scientific ninja tools during this sparring match after he finds out that Naruto is using a scientific ninja tool arm, basically saying things like Naruto cheated. Then Sasuke tells Boruto that it's not the ninja tools that are bad, it's about how you use it which determines whether or not they're bad, which is a great lesson, as Boruto and Naruto were using it in two different ways, as Boruto was using it to cheat in the Chunin exams and Naruto was using it to basically like test it out. But then we move on to the Ao arc where Boruto and Team 7 go on to this science lab, and here we will start to see Boruto accept these scientific ninja tools after basically sparring with them the entire day. This will be great for his character as he would now start to get over his dislike for these scientific ninja tools. We would also get a great moment of Boruto finally accepting the scientific ninja tools. But that's not all the Ao arc was about. The Ao arc also had a great villain. In my opinion, he's the best villain in the entire series. Well, maybe not the best villain, but he's definitely behind Ishiki, and that villain is Ao. A lot of people remember him from Naruto Shippuden, and everybody thought he died after he got nuked by the Ten Tails, which in my opinion, it makes absolutely no sense on how he survived. But back to his effect on Boruto. Ao was really that villain that actually tested Boruto's ideology, and even from the first conversation that Boruto and Ao had, when Ao asked Boruto did he hate ninja tech, and Boruto says not exactly, and then Ao puts a screwdriver towards Boruto's neck, acting like he was about to kill him, and once again tells Boruto that it's all about how you use the scientific ninja tools. They're not bad, it's just how you use them. Now this would be a focal point for Boruto's character, as I already explained before. Now since I already explained the scientific ninja tool part, we then move on to the Ao fight. Now in the Ao fight, we finally see Boruto overcome his dislike for the scientific ninja tools and actually use them against Ao. But that's not the only thing this fight showcased. This fight also showcased the good and bad between the scientific ninja tools, with Ao using the scientific ninja tools for bad and Boruto using the scientific ninja tools for good. We also see Boruto using the scientific ninja tools in great strategic ways, and you can really see how far he came from the Momoshiki arc. Boruto finally defeats Ao. We get a great dialogue between Boruto and Ao, and Boruto basically returns the favor by basically putting a screwdriver towards Ao's neck, but instead of killing him, he just let him go. And Ao basically tries to antagonize Boruto by saying he's just as soft as Naruto, his father. But we finally get Boruto's conclusion about the scientific ninja tools, saying it's all about how you use it. So now that we've closed the book on these scientific ninja tools, we now move on to the bread and butter of Boruto's character. Karma. Now karma would be the super turning point for Boruto's character, as it would symbolize three things: death, death, and death. Now the first time we see karma activate is when Kashin Koji pulls up on Boruto and Team 7, but we really don't get into too much detail about karma until Amato shows up to the village. Now when Amato shows up to the village, Boruto's whole character shifts, as we now find out that Momoshiki is slowly taking over Boruto's DNA. Now as I said earlier in the video, Naruto allowing Boruto to kill Momoshiki was a grave mistake, and this was for that very reason, as now Boruto is on pace to be completely taken taken over by Momoshiki. And this is where Boruto's character is forced to grow up really fast, as he now has to accept that Momoshiki is going to take over his body once he hits 100% Uzumaki, or they can kill Boruto right now and don't have to worry about Momoshiki resurrecting. Or when he loses enough chakra, Momoshiki can take over his body and hurt anybody around him. He was lucky that back in the Boruto fight, Momoshiki didn't just kill Sarada, Misuke, and Kawaki, and even Naruto. And then that brings us to the Ishiki fight, which shows us how scared Boruto really is about this entire situation, where we see a conversation between Boruto and Sasuke. And then Sasuke asks Boruto a huge question, which is, are you willing to sacrifice yourself for the village? But Boruto doesn't really answer that question. Move on to Boruto asking for Sasuke's headband, as he says it makes him more confident. But now we move on to the Ishiki fight, where we see Boruto's development firsthand. As Boruto teleported Ishiki away to save the entire village, he also risked his life to save Sasuke, which Boruto comes to the conclusion that Ishiki cannot kill him. And he even tries to off himself to save everyone, but Ishiki stopped it. And this is the same kid that wouldn't even break his own arm back in the academy. But we really don't get much of Boruto for the rest of the Ishiki fight, but something bigger comes after the Ishiki fight, after Momoshiki takes over Boruto's body and stabs out Sasuke's Rinnegan and tries to take Kawaki to feed him to the Ten Tails. Boruto after this goes into a serious depression, as he realized he almost just killed his master Sasuke and tried to kill Kawaki as well. Then after that, he finds out he's 80% Otsutsuki and only has a week to live, until Amato gave him some pills that would slow down the Otsutsuki extraction. And then after that, we get a cool conversation between Boruto and Kawaki about Naruto and Sasuke's situation. Now, Kawaki had a plan to put Karma on Code, but Boruto was all against it. But back to the conversation about Naruto and Sasuke, Boruto came to the resolve that Naruto and Sasuke aren't at the same power level as before, so now they need to train and step up to the plate. We then move on to the Code arc, which is going on right now, and we finally get Boruto's final resolve, as Momoshiki takes over and runs wild during the Code fight. Boruto realizes that there is nothing that they can do to stop Momoshiki. He then asks Kawaki to kill him. Now, most MCs say that they will sacrifice themselves, but most of them don't actually do it. Boruto actually did it. This was a great way for Boruto's character to come full circle. But after he gets revived by Momoshiki, we get a great conversation between Boruto and Momoshiki, where Boruto asks Momoshiki about his fate, and Momoshiki says that Boruto's tragic fate is coming soon, which means Boruto's character is only going to get better. But that's the end of this video. I really only made this video to show people how misunderstood Boruto was, as people are still stuck in 2017 saying that Boruto is a brat, or they just try to lie saying that Boruto's character is trash. But that's the end of this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and follow my Twitter link in the description, and I'm out. Peace.